Hi, welcome to Vybhava Technologies, Unix and Linux shell scripting. I'm Pavan here, around 12 plus years experience in the IT industry. I'm working as a most of the time a WebLogic and Fusion middleware administration side, and I also worked on WebSphere, worked on different platforms, Linux, Unix, and in the Unix platforms like Solaris, HPUX. So these are my experiences and skill set. So let me know about who joined in this call, Raj and Hari. Okay, Hari is connected from the office. He cannot speak. So Raj is with us. Raj, are you able to hear me?
I am unmuting.
Yeah.
Hi, Pawan.
Hi, Raj.
My name is Raj, and I have around 8 years of experience in Java and J2E.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm into Unix, Linux. I know basics,
Okay.
but I'm looking for some more knowledge on these areas. That is the reason I'm looking for training.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so whenever you have some question, please unmute and ask the question. That is a better communication. So if you cannot, then you can type on the chat. Or if you want some specific commands you want, then at that time we'll use the chat. So hope you understand where is the chat. It's a bubble symbol is there. So just click that one and you can give the commands. You can
Yeah,
put the
I saw
messages.
this has given.
Yeah. Okay, so let me begin. So this course is meant for mainly for the people who want to make automations in their work. One important aspect when you enter into the automation or shell scripting, there are two aspects. One is your life you want to make simple. Another one is you want to make something which will help everyone to simplify. So there are two options when you make the automations, when you make the scripts. One you can spread across publicly, everyone can use. Another one is only for you. So that depends how you are going to take up that work and make that. So the both will need automation skills. Both requires the programming skills and that requires the basic knowledge of your entire Unix and Linux administration basic knowledge. That will help us to make simpler easy way of shell scripts. So what we are going to learn in this course, I'll just give some important points out of it. Hi Raj.
Yeah,
Uh, Another Raju is there. Just joined.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Hello Raju. Hello.
Hello.
Hi Raju. What's your full name,
Um,
Raju, if you don't mind?
yeah, CH Balraju.
Okay. Yeah, Balraj, because another Raj is there, that's why I just want to make differentiate you. Yeah, Balraj, can
Yeah,
you just give your intro?
yeah, just a minute.
Why you
I'm
want
outside.
shell scripting and why? Yeah, this course we targeted for every day 1 hour, and in this session we are going to learn basic commands and how to make into the script. Once you understood that one, you are going to make small basic scriptings that will make a building blocks for your automation scripting purpose. And what we are going to learn, it is complete basics about the Linux administration, and it covers most of our daily activities which are required for any developer or any administrator. So this is a common thing when everyone is going to work on some remote Unix and Linux environments. So in that platforms, what we need to know, how we can work in our scripting session, what we need to make. So let me show you what part. So here in my laptop, this is my laptop, I have used one virtualization software that is called Vagrant. Okay, so when you are using Vagrant, what is this? Vagrant is a virtualization software. It's a layer. What does it do? It will provision. What it will provision? It will make on top of your Windows machine, you can create another operating system. If you want to run one operating system, what we need? We need system resources. These system resources, example CPU, keyboard, monitor, and internal network, NIC card, etc., etc. A lot of things. So on high level, three or four we need. So these resources can be shareable. What we are going to make with Vagrant? Virtualization we are making. When you are making virtualization, virtually you are making one machine. For making this one, we have a lot of softwares like VMware, VMware Workstation, Parallels, Oracle VirtualBox, all these are there. So in my system, I am using Oracle VirtualBox. So two things I have installed, Vagrant, second Oracle VirtualBox. On Oracle VirtualBox, I am running provisioning software that is Vagrant. When I run the provisioning software, what it should have. So I'll just show you one simple file. So this is a file, Vagrant file. So using this Vagrant file, I can say how much memory I want for my box. The virtually I am creating one software box. I am going to install some Linux on or any other operating system box. So on that one, my preferable operating system I am selected Ubuntu. So Ubuntu Linux I have selected, and in Ubuntu again we have lot of options. Trusty Ubuntu we have, and Precise 64, Precise 32. There are a lot of flavors are there. Ubuntu comes with the desktop, and this Trusty, Precise, these flavors doesn't have the desktop. If you want desktop, there is another option for the boxes, but this Vagrant box, what we are learning, this is only for scripting purpose. We don't want entire operating system. We don't want to run that 6 GB or 3 GB of operating system on your hard disk unnecessary, occupying that memory. When I am using this box, this Precise 64, or there are a lot of boxes which are squeezed boxes which are available in Atlas website or Vagrant Cloud website. There are a lot of websites which are providing these boxes, virtual boxes. So this one, if you look at this one, Bento Ubuntu, this is having desktop. If you want desktop version, you can take this option and you can install on your system. So this part is basic setup you need. What you need for learning the shell scripting. That is, you need to make two softwares installation, then you can write this file. Once you are having this file, you can communicate, you can create, you can connect with PuTTY. PuTTY you are using, for that one what we need, first important thing is IP address. So this IP address is private network IP address. If you install a regular operating system, then what you need to do, you need to configure a static IP, then only we can connect with the PuTTY. In a virtual box, if you are install Ubuntu, if you are installing a Red Hat Linux or some other operating system, Then you need to configure network IP address. Otherwise, you cannot connect. Yeah, Raj. Sorry.
Vagrant is a software or
Yeah,
like I know VMware, Oracle virtual machine boxes are softwares, right?
correct.
What about Vagrant?
Vagrant.
Is this okay?
Vagrant is a software actually. Vagrant is a very small size of software. You just type Vagrant in Google, you will get Vagrant. Vagrant download page will be there. So just go there and you can see there are a lot of flavors for Vagrant.
Okay.
Okay, so Vagrant is a very light, small size of file. So it is going to install importantly two things. One is the operating system which you want to run. To run that one, you need to communicate. That communication is happening with one file, that is Vagrant file. That Vagrant file is in one specific language, that is Ruby. So whenever you install Vagrant, it is automatically works with Ruby. So don't worry about Ruby, what we are going to do, all those things. In your laptop, if you want to run this software, you need to install. Okay, so in this one, you have to select Windows operating system. If you are working on, you are connecting with Windows, you select this one. Okay, once you are installed on your Windows machine, Vagrant, what you need to do, you need to write this simple file. What we are going to specify here, the configuration of the Vagrant. So what is this one, I'll just explain you in just 2 minutes, no worries. So the first line is specifying that I want to configure one virtual box. The box is going to use a operating system precise 64. As I told you, there are a lot of boxes you can see on the website. Vagrant, let me show you. Vagrant box.es. The website name is Vagrant Boxes. So if you look at the right side of this page, the sizes of each operating system is there. Debian operating system, if you really install, it will take some around 6 GB full-fledged version, fully loaded server. If you want to happen, if you want to make that one, it requires a lot of space. CentOS, that is also, it takes somewhere around 4 GB or something. So how much size you can see? 400 MB only. It is only in MBs and it will not go beyond 1 GB. So all these are 300, 200, 300, 200. So it is very less size of operating systems. Everyone, the Unix and Linux operating systems, if you look at, all open source operating systems are distributed openly and you can squeeze according to your needs. You can make your own kernel. So all these people are created their own kernels and kept online. So what we are going to do here, according to your operating system, according to your CPU, if you are running with Intel Celeron, you can use differently. AMD processor, use the different one. Okay, so this website is having somewhere 300, 400 boxes in this page. So whatever suitable for you, whatever you need, you can select that box and you can execute on top of it. So that depends on your requirement. I am using Precise 64. It's a Ubuntu operating system. What I'm
How
saying, when you are loading this, sorry, yeah, tell me please.
how this operating system is different for processor to processor. You said like for AMD we can choose one thing and for Intel
Yes,
we can
correct, correct.
another one. It should not be depend on processor basis, right?
See, every operating system, if you install Windows 7 or Windows XP or 10, whatever you are installing, for every processor architecture is different, and AMD is different, Intel processor is different. Accordingly, they will install different drivers. The communication with the resources, hardware, with the kernel, operating system kernel happens differently. So that's why we have different flavors.
Yeah, yeah, got it. Thank you.
So here, whenever I'm launching a virtual box, it is going to take some time. I'm just giving a roughly 600 seconds to launch one box. This is optional, it is not compulsory. And on my virtual box, whatever I'm creating, I want to make one host name. So normally what you will do, etc host file, in that one you are going to mention this one, then only it will create the domain name, host name. So this will be easily, just if you write in this file, it will create on the operating system. To make all this happen, you need a lot of time in real time operating system installation process. Virtualization, it is very simple. If you use Vagrant or Docker or Parallel, these are different virtualization tools. So here host name is easy to create, and here you can make port forwarding is also possible. This is optional, it is not compulsory port forwarding. I am used the same VirtualBox for the WebLogic installation. So that's why I have used this port number for forwarding some other port number to access. So it's not compulsory. So IP address you can define with uh, your internet series. The internet is going to have some subnet. That network should be matching to the same numbers, first two numbers same. 192.168 for any internet service provider going to use the same two numbers. After this, it will be vary different numbers. So here these numbers, I mean, I change. You can also change according to your uh, network facility what we are using. So if you are using ACT, Beam, or if you are using Hathway, it will be the same first two numbers. Next two numbers you need to change. And if you want to make share folder from your Windows system to the another operating system which you want to host, Windows to your Linux operating system, you want to share some files. Here you have to mention Linux path. You can create, this will be automatically created, and in your Windows system where is the softwares you want to mention. So that softwares I have kept here and I'm sharing that. You can put any directory that you want to share. That's a simple thing. So here what we are using, provider is going to be Oracle VirtualBox, or you can use VMware, or you can use Parallel. Three choices are there. So here what we are using, VirtualBox, most highest commonly used VirtualBox, because VirtualBox is freely available. If you go for VMware, it is licensed version. Oracle VirtualBox is freely available. Parallels, it is not that compatible as Oracle VirtualBox. Okay. So if you want desktop, then enable this GUI true. Otherwise, comment it. Memory, how much memory RAM you want to allocate for the operating system, Ubuntu operating system, 4 GB I am assigning. Here, how many GBs, that MBs you are going to give, these MBs will be applied to that operating system. So whenever I said here the operating system, so when you are using this box, what we are going to say, vagrant and up. This is a command to run the operating system up. So I have already started this vagrant box. What I can do is, the vagrant box is up or not. You want to check the status. You can just say vagrant space status. My host system, that Windows system, is a little bit slower because so many days I didn't touch. Okay, so you got the output running status. This Vagrant precise box is running, and I can connect with what? With this 100 port IP address. So just see here, I have 100 IP address connected here. 192.168.33.100. I'm able to connect, right? So it's a Ubuntu operating system, and what I have here, the Linux operating system with the name, domain name, which is, you can see here, etc/host file. See, so this is a line. It is actually given this IP address 127.1.1. So I mapped this one to this IP address once I have connected successfully with that particular IP address. And you, same process, if you want to do this with your installation process, all those things, for the basic administration knowledge you require, and how to install, you need ISO files, software ISO files, Ubuntu so ISO files required, and that software again, it takes 1.2 GB or something like that. Once it is installed again on your Windows operating system, you need more space. So all this stuff is made very simpler using Vagrant. You are able to see my screen. Is the font is comfortable for you?
Yeah, it's okay. Good.
Okay, cool, great. So when I'm going to use this scripting, I created one folder called scripts. So this folder, what I'm sharing here, I'm able to access in my Windows system also, because what we have here, the share folder is this one. Sync, automatically sync this folder. Software folder is already synced. So in this one, whatever I write, even though if my box or Linux operating system is not running, I can see from my F colon software folder. That is what we have here. You can have any C colon or D colon, no problem. So there you just share folder. Okay. So here I'm going to make one directory. The best practice for making the shell scripts, make directory bin directory. So always, if you look into your projects or real-time servers, even WebLogic server uses bin directory or JBoss, Tomcat. All these are uses bin, means it is a directory for the scripts. Okay. So whenever you're making a script, what are the important things we have to know? So very quick view for this. Okay, so you're going to know about the Unix shell and types of shells, and identify what shell is best for you, and what are the users and groups which you are going to use. And sorry, so you're going to have the most common activity, like in the most of the production environment, bigger size of environments, enterprise applications, the log files are keep growing. So what we are going to do, you are going to compress that, and you are going to send to a disk which is having more space, or a tape drive where we can send the logs. Regularly you want to keep that files available. So basic this process, you need, sometimes you want to search some text, you want to find something in the logs. For this one you may need regular expressions. These regular expressions, once you know from your shell scripting basics, then you can do awk, scd programming, and perl programming as well. So it includes how to cut text from a big size of file. So you're going to identify the process management. So every day in day-to-day activities, your projects enterprise level applications which are running or not, you want to know. Or the process is going to take more CPU, or is it eating more memory? All this we have to know. So how does this is happen? We can make more simpler if you know all the options of every command, and we can use simple programming structure for these commands. You know PS command, how to use, but how we can make the text very useful. I want to get only WebLogic server process ID, or I want to get only JBoss server process ID. That process ID, how much memory it is occupying. That process ID, how much CPU cycles it is eating up. So this kind of process you can develop by shell scripting or any other sub scriptings we can use. You can identify number of file systems, different file systems in Unix and Linux environments. And which one is best one when you have to use that file system? Sometimes you need temp space, sometimes you need swap space, sometimes you need Unix file system, unified file system, or ZFS you want. So each one is having its own capability to store the files. Now people are moving to high-end storage, that is HDFS, that is distributed file system, that is Hadoop file system. So that is also, if you want to work on such kind of file systems, you must know what is file system. If you know that one, you can make simplified very easy to work on any operating system which uses Unix kind of file system. The resource management, as I told you, there are different resources on your system, on your laptop, on your real-time project servers. It is going to have the similar kind of resources. When you're using this system resources, how we can monitor them, how we can optimize, how we can configure them. If you know configuration part, first time whenever the server is up, you can run set of commands. The set of commands you can keep into the script and you can make it as a script. Network resources. You are using resources like routers or switches or connecting to the DNS services or connecting with your regular static IP NIC card. All this comes into network related stuff. You can communicate with the remote systems and you can transfer files. You are going to send secure communication, SFTP, FTP, number of options are there. So when you are communicating the files, how we can ensure it is 100% transferred. When you are sending 100 MB file, 50 MB is transferred, after that there is a network breach. How can I identify that problems? All this, first you know, then you can make the script. Ensure that one, it will definitely continuously transfer the file so that 100% when I run this script, it will go to the destination. You can ensure from your end. You can make use of VI editor and VIM. This is a common requirement for every shell script user. Automations you can make in every aspect. Daily activities, if you have 4 commands, every time you want to run, put into one script. Step by step, making four lines, you can make bigger script. You want to install some process, you want to do something regularly, repeated tasks, you can make automation. This is what the need of cloud. Current cloud trend is coming up and everyone is going towards automation. So automation, this shell scripting automation help you to understand the basics. If you understood these basics, DevOps will be very easy to work on. If you understand this one, very easy to work on cloud environments. So this is the base for any new trend which is coming up on based on the Unix and Linux platforms. So how to make the Unix platform, as I already mentioned. So this course is for whom? It is for anyone who want to make themselves database administration, WebLogic, WebSphere, anything. So any administration part they can take up and they can learn this scripting and make automations and make simpler for their life. Okay, so this part overview what we are going to do in this session. The first session, practical things. First, important commands we try to understand. Then again, I'll just go through quicker view. So, Unix and Linux. What is the difference? What is the common? Anybody? When was Unix created? Unix operating system. In which year it is started? No idea. What we'll do with the year? We don't do anything, nothing. Yeah, in 1969, it is created in Bell Labs. AT&T is a partner for that. AT&T, Bell, both are the two companies, and they started research on a multi-user operating system. They need a multi-user operating system, so they started working on a separate language, that is C language. Dennis Ritchie provided a C language, and based on this C language, simple small size of programming language, they created this operating system. There are a lot of controversies, difficulties to make the complete Unix operating system multi-user environment with network capability within the one particular network. That is subnet, one particular area they have made a network and that is able to communicate. So they made success in 1973 and they launched that Unix operating system. Again, there are a lot of researchers happen and there are two different views started. Ken Thompson created one shell and Dennis Ritchie started another shell for the operating system. Each one is working with their own teams and they build different utilities. The Ken Thompson came out of this team and he made we should have openness, we should not close what we are doing. Another team is working on different area and they built everything for uh, proprietary things, only for AT&T, only for Bell. So they created different utilities. So the flavors came and the different things come out, but the shell, what we are going to see, that concept is same. The hardware, if you look at, that is the resources which is having, we are calling it as a hardware. All the operating system, the laptop is one hardware. Or if you see the desk and monitor, keyboard, all this comes under hardware. Who can talk to it? One special program, that is kernel. Not only Unix, any operating system, it talks with the kernel. That is a core program which will interact with the resources. How does it is able to communicate? It is going to have linkers and loaders. These are the two different softwares inside the kernel. The linker will link up with the different system calls and loader will execute whenever the particular command is given to the kernel. So there are different layers and each one is going to passing it to the actual hardware. So a user is typing, Pawan is typing on the his monitor in keyboard and it is going to display on the screen. How it is happening? The user communicate with the command layer. It may be mouse, it may be keyboard. The command layer will be accepting the command and then it is passed to the service layer. The service layer takes that command and execute that. So how does it execute? Does it have the capability? No. Kernel is having the capability. Kernel internally have the system calls. Kernel is able to call the system and it will execute that. So what does it this is going to have? It is going to have input and output operations, and every command is having a translation. The translation is going to happen with the linkers and loaders, and then it is going to return back with the results. So this is how the operating system is constructed to make multi-user operating system. Now people are looking for the cloud that is also comes up with the same but on top of internet. The Unix operating system if you want you will get. Linux you want, yes you will get. Hexadata you want, hexalogic you want, you can get it. How you are going to order according to your hardware resources. You are going to be charged for that. So Unix is a layered operating system. What is the layers you know here? There are 5 layers. These layers, innermost layer, if you see hardware, that is actually providing the original service, and who is going to take up operating system. So operating system is Unix kernel, service layer, command layer. All these are operating system. So when your operating system is taken these references, Unix takes that kernel, interacts with the directly with the hardware and provides the outcome what you are expecting, the user is expecting. A mouse is clicking, it is going to happen a radio button click, or it may be checkbox, or it may be button, something like that. It is taking into a command, and according to that command it is executing and returning the service. So this is what operating system layers. The users who are going to work the commands, how does this system knows? There is a translator in the kernel. The translator translates for the hardware, and it is taken by system calls. There are limited number of system calls which are interact with your processor and actually executes that with the hardware, and final output comes out of it. This is overall picture and history shortcut of Unix. 69 they started Unix, and they have split in the 1979 and they created two different branches. BSD is open source. SVR5 is a proprietary. Companies implemented that. IBM AIX, HP UX, IRIX SGI, and there are other companies also there. So Sun Solaris is first university based operating system. Now it is a different company and it was sold to Oracle. So Oracle Solaris now. Oracle also have this Solaris is also having open source Sun OS also from 9 version onwards. These are the key pillars or influences of Unix and Linux operating systems. The first three people are most important people, and only few people, two people expired and two people are available. So Ken Thompson, who is initiator for the open source, and Richard Stallman, who initiated the GNU shell. GNU utility commands. So whenever you are using shell scripts, most of the commands, that command is either GNU bash, GNU bone shell, or some other. And if you are using C shell, then Dennis Ritchie. Ken Thompson, he created K shell, and it is Corn shell. Linus Torvalds is happy with the bash, and he written everything in Linux kernel with the bash, bash. So these are the four influences in Unix and Linux operating systems, and each one is having their own favorite shells and they keep on adding their capabilities happen. And now people bigger teams, bigger project, it is each shell is a one different software now. Now different flavors are available in Unix and Linux. So you can take any one of them and you can install on your system. Without practicing, shell script is very hard. If you don't practice, you cannot learn. Today, if I'm telling some small script, you need to do it on your system. So how to do it? Create one virtual box, use Oracle VirtualBox, install Vagrant, run it. Or go for the Docker, or if you have already a VMware available on your system, run that Red Hat Linux or whatever you want. What is your favorite operating system? You install it and run it. Okay. So why people enterprises are working with Unix, this is a secret. Undiscovered enterprises are running, and that is not under WW, which are undiscovered. Classified sites, they are registered, registered sites. So 61% people are using Solaris, and if you see unlisted or undiscovered, that is 34% Solaris people are using. But in the both side, Linux is almost 20 to 30 or 40% they are using. So, and in future again, it is growing, keep growing Linux open sourceness, and you may get more BSDs users. Okay, any questions?
Paul, I have a question.
Yes.
It's like high level. Like, who will decide like when like comes to the release time? When we like deploy one product on one machine, who will decide like which flavor we should use, like Unix or Linux or Solaris? Like based on that, we will choose that operating system.
For a project, architect is going to decide. Our CTO for the bigger enterprises, they are going to decide what operating system you are going to use. It depends on the capabilities required for running the project. Suppose if you are running a project with 3000 hits per second, then how much capability of the server intake inputs the sockets should be able to create? In Unix, everything is a file. Socket is also a file, so that many files are available or accessible by how many machines. You need to create that much number. So this is trial and error process, and that depends on the experience, estimations. All this comes into picture, then only you can decide how many machines you have to set up or what operating system you need to use, Linux or Unix. All this comes into that picture.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just want to make sure you should use VI editor. This is the most commonly used for any Linux system administration purpose or scripting purpose. This is a common thing editor you must know. Other than this, what we have in Ubuntu, you can use gedit if you have the GUI editor. It is almost like Notepad, and it is having more highlighting, syntax highlighting is also available in the gedit. Whereas in other options like Nano is also one editor, and Emac is also another editor. So you can use any one of these editors. So I just want to quickly help you on the VI commands. So you guys tell me the answers quickly. How do you begin inserting the text in the VI editor?
Escape I.
Yeah. So whenever you open VI editor, immediately it will be in what mode? On the screen you can see there are three different modes: command mode, insert mode, escape mode, or bottom line mode, you can say anything. So you can switch from one mode to another mode. So by default it is in escape mode. You don't need to press first time when you enter VI editor. It is in escape mode. When you are giving a command, you want to start something in the VI editor. You have six choice, six letters you can type. I is for insert. You have some text already in your file and you want to enter the text at the end of the line. Then you can use capital A. You want to start at the beginning of the line. The text is already existing. I want to start in the beginning of the line. Simple. You are in the escape sequence. What you can do? Shift I. The cursor will go to the beginning of the line. You want to insert in the next line. O. You want to insert above the line. Capital O. So these are the six options you have in the insert option. All inserts only, but different places. Wherever the cursor is there, from there you want to insert, then I, small I. Okay, so these are the six options you have to begin editing your VI file. Okay, so when you're beginning, you want to come out, you want to give some command, then you are pressing escape. You want to delete text, you want to search something, you want to cut, you want to paste, all these options you can do in the escape mode, command mode. Once this command is updated, file is completed, what you are going to do? You are going to save the file. How to save?
WQ.
Colon X.
Colon.
How we are going to save the file? How to save? Colon W. Colon W means it will write into a file. Q means quit the VI editor. Some people write colon WQ exclamatory mark. Why you are going to use exclamatory mark? You have any idea?
Forcefully we are doing it.
Forcefully. Why should we force? You should not actually. You should not do that forcefully when there is a no need. Okay. So forcefully is required when you are quit without saving. You cannot save and you are edited something. In that case, you need to quit forcefully. But when you are writing that file into the disk and again you are coming out, you should not give exclamatory mark. You are the user for that file. But if you are not the user, somebody else also can access the same file. The file is shared place, or if you are using temp space, anyone can edit that. Okay, so when you have that kind of situation, then you are going to make forceful. Otherwise, don't use the force command. Okay, so these are the basic things. Remember that one. How to delete a line in VI editor.
DD.
DD, delete line. How to delete a word? One word I want to delete. How can I delete? Delete word DW. Okay, so all these commands you must aware of that. Otherwise, it will be very time consuming, slow in your learning process. So there is a cheat sheet for the VI editor. So take that printout and keep in front of you and try to do practice for half an hour every day when you are learning the shell scripting. When you complete this course and you will become master of VI editor and you will be most fastest script writer. believe that. Okay, so when you're beginning a script, what you need? First line is called shebang line. So what I have to enter? I just started typing hash errors, the pound symbol, but I'm getting an error. What should I do? I have to press I, okay, then I have to enter hash. Then what is this exclamatory mark? Hash means comment, exclamatory mark means you're indicating, you're telling that you use this shell. So what is the shell path? Where is the shell? Shell is a program. It is just like any other program, C language program or some Java program, whatever you write. Same like that, we have shell. So there are several types of shells. Where it will be? It will be in bin directory. So I'm going to use bash shell. So after this one, don't write anything. And this shebang line should be first line. It cannot be second line and third line. Remember this point. Okay, so sometimes you want to write the comment. I want to write a comment here. So in the beginning, I want to tell this is the first shell script. Does this works? The second line never executed, never works. Shebang line means shebang should be used in the first line. It cannot be first, it cannot be somewhere else. Okay, so now I press O for the next line to insert. I want to insert in the next line. I didn't went to the last line and press enter. What I did O. So now I am going to write comment here. The best practice in any language, any programming, you must give comment. Comment will tell the user, today you are using the script, tomorrow somebody can use or hundreds of users will use. The best practice tells that first write the comments. How to write the comment? Use the hash symbol in the scripting. In any scripting like bash scripting or CSH or KSH, this is a valid comment. Hash symbol is a valid commenting symbol. Okay, so there are several, there are like somewhere 25 shells are available and each is related with some operating system. The common operating systems, just now I distributed that hierarchy. You know that tree split into two. One is Unix, another one is BSD. So BSD is preferable going with the bash and other branch is going with the KSH. KSH is the fastest shell compared with the BASH. What is this BASH? In the beginning, Ken Thompson created one shell. From that shell, all shells are created. That is the parent of all shells. In 1969, Ken Thompson created a shell. From that, that program is expanded, and what we are getting, it is going to take the inputs from the user and execute the command and gives the output. Okay, so this is what we are going to do in a shell scripting. Just a minute. Okay. Right. So first, a simple script we want to make. What is a script? Script is a set of commands. So most of the common way of creating the script, first we are going to write a simple clear statement. Then you want to give some commands. And then you can make some 2 or 3 commands. ls, pwd, date. This is a simple way of creating a shell. So when you are saving this file, just press escape. It is coming to the command from the bottom line. Then what we are going to do, WQ. This is enough to write and quit. This is one way. Another one is just say colon. It will be saving your file, right? So it is fine, and I have created a shell. But if you look at this, when I save this file, it is automatically in executed permission because I shared in a shared drive. That's why I'm getting. Otherwise, in real time, you don't get the execute permissions. If I write in the another path, it doesn't get. So what you need to do, you already always need to change that shell permissions, file permissions. Okay, so how can I execute dot slash first? It is executed. Clear the screen. It is displayed ls. Then what we have the path. Okay, so all these date executed three commands, and the script is executed. The execution script, it's taking dot and slash. Can I execute something else, some other way? Yes, dot space. This is also gives the same. What is the difference between these two? Any idea? Dot slash giving the file name, dot space giving that one, or just what is the difference? All this. First two are executed, third one is not executed. Okay, fine. So I am just saying bash first, it is executing. So how many ways? Three ways. The second one, why it was this third one is failed. It didn't execute it. When it will be executing? So when you are going to have the path, echo dollar path. In this one, if you have dot, dot means what? Dot means current, present directory. Dot dot means parent directory. So if you have this dot in the path, then I can execute this first dot sh. Got my point? There are environment variables. In that, path is the most critical environment pointer, which will help operating system to pick the common commands. Bin commands, shell commands, local commands, super user commands, all are present in this path. Whatever you want to keep, you can keep, otherwise you can remove. That is all in the administrator hand. So that's why super user commands cannot be executed by normal user. Sometimes you need sudo user. Sometimes you need only for database administration purpose. Some only for the WebLogic administration purpose. So each user is having limited number of execution paths. Okay. So if I want to change this one, export is an option. When I want to use this export path, I should not change the existing path. I should keep the existing path first, then add dot. Now, can I execute this? Sorry. Yes, it is working. So understand how to make your script simpler, easier way. How to execute that one. Which shell is using whom? You are in which shell? How can you know? Echo dollar shell. It is telling that you are in bash shell. Born again shell. Born again, born shell. So born again shell is a advanced shell, and it is having versions also. Okay, this is a bash shell. Bash shell is from GNU. GNU is open source. BSD open source commands. It is open for everyone, freely available. General purpose license is there. So this is the latest version available with the Ubuntu operating system. Suppose I want KSH. Can I switch? Yes, you can switch from one shell to another shell. But I don't have this KSH here. In Ubuntu, default shell is bash. How can I get the KSH? It is telling that KSH is packed with these many shells. KSH is a parent of four shells: PDKSH, ZSH, MKSH. Okay, so currently I am not the root user, I am not the administrator. That's why I cannot install this. So if you want KSH, you have to install that one. Administrator, ask your administrator to install. So I am the administrator. I'll do that. So VI cheat sheet is this one. So try to practice all these commands and then we'll move towards the shell. So that is a basic architecture. So whenever you are giving the command cmp date and some C programs or grep command, wc command, lot of commands. Any command whatever you are giving, that is one of the program, utility program that interacts with one of the shell. It may be C shell, it may be bash shell or KSH or its type of child shell. It is going to interact with the assembly level or compilers, linkers. It is going to talk with the system calls. It will invoke the system calls, then it will talk to the actual hardware resource. Okay, so this is the interaction, how the shell is going to work. Okay, so if you want window on your Linux, what you need? X Windows is one of the important software. It is one of the application that is created on top of your kernel. So core Unix system that we are going to interact in our shell scripting. It interacts directly with the operating system. We'll do a lot of scripts, making merging a lot of things, and it is actually this bash shell or whatever you're learning, that is based on C language. If you know C language, it is very good. Otherwise, any other language, that is also welcome. Yeah, so it is going to work, interact with the assembly language and compilers, linkers. That is the important point you need to understand, that kernel is going to have all these internally. And the kernel is made by C language. It insulates other parts of operating system and it is going to interact with the hardware resources. It will give the response. It performs low level, high level outputs with the different functions. You can have different functions in the kernel level and you can call them. So there are important functions like fork command that will create another shell. Read command get the data, write command write into the somehow the resources. Any device, monitor or screen, keyboard, or you're sending to the network, it is going to write into that one. All the applications that deals with your kernel only. It may be Java application, it may be Visual GUIs or X Windows. It will deal with your kernel only. If kernel is not connected, nothing will happen. So without kernel, nothing. So kernel functionality is most important thing. What does it do? Memory management it do, and it is going to work with the process CPU, and it will do scheduling, cron jobs, file management. Without file, we cannot move anything in the operating system, Unix and Linux. Unix and Linux uses everything as a file. Interrupts handling, all these are internally happens, but sometimes in the shell scripts also we need to handle them by using shift option. So we'll talk more detail when we come to that part. Input output operations, we'll talk in detail. So a reading operation, writing operation from your script, if you want to do, then what we need. Read is one command, echo is another command. So if you are using KSH, printf also you can use. System account details, like you're going to have the user account. Just now we have seen Oracle is one of the account I have created. Vagrant is another account. All these are comes into system accounts. So who is using what application? That details it is going to maintain by tracing the shells. Shell acts an interface between the users and kernel. Its command interpreter for Unix provides a powerful programming capabilities. System administrators always uses any system you want to run on top of your operating system. It is required, and it is also provide the shell text processing. You can have sub shell, that is AWK, SED. All these comes into text processing part. File management, internally it will be having with the operating system kernel itself, but you can better view when you write your own scripts. Unix utilities you can generate, create, and you can run different applications. You can run administration applications like JBoss, WebLogic, WebSphere. That applications you can have your own scripts. Users can different shells. You can have ZSH, which is much more powerful when you are using Exalogic kind of operating system, or Solaris. Which book is good? That is depends on your choice, but I prefer to go with the O'Reilly books. So more command related, you can get clear idea. But there is no examples much in O'Reilly. But if you want more examples, go with the blue color middle one. What you have. Okay, so Valley publications are this one also is fine. Bash programming pro, that is also looks better, right? So if you want to practice, you don't have the virtualization software, you don't have the memory XYZ problems you are getting with the Vagrant, then go with this website online, linuxzoo.net, simpleshell.com. These sites are providing you free shells. You can type the command, you will get the executed. The script you can create and it will vanishes immediately. It doesn't store somewhere, but you will feel that you can create the script. But it is only for practicing purpose. How loops will work, how if condition works, how the command sequence work. That we can test on the short time shells. Okay, so side by side, one time you can type one, another side you will get the execution of the shell. This is also possible. So there are some cloud shells also in Amazon EC2. So if you want it freely, they will give 1 month EC2 shell. IBM is also providing some instance. I don't know exact URLs for them. So what we are going to cover in this training, the first part, we are going to have the type of shell features, input, output, how we are going to do boot process, what it does, and what are the things, why we are going to use chk conf, and when you are going to use run levels, that is RC scripts. People are saying RC3, go to the directory, it will keep some file, it will automatically execute it whenever it is booted. Whenever you log in, it is going to do something. So login shell means, just now we have seen echo dollar shell in capital letters, it is giving the login shell. What shell? According to that, we need to do something. What? Profile creation. So how to use that script? The script automatically executed when you are logged in. What are the variables in shell? How we can use that variables? What are the ways to provide string variables, and how to calculate, how to do some daily calculations which are easy to make your script, and how we can compare. different values, relational or logical, and or operations you can do with that. And you can customize a lot of environment variables. Just now we have seen path variable, I have shown you. So environment variables, lot of variables which are required for every project. Different types of administrators require different environment variables. And sometimes most common mistakes you want to make them correct when you are doing repeatedly. So whenever you are doing some variable capital letters, immediately you are not switching to the slower case. You may change, but by mistake you are going to type ls in capital letters. What happens? It doesn't execute and it will say no command form. So capital letters we can use. Yeah. sh also you can run Raj, definitely. Any shell you can use and you can execute that one. But what Shabang line you have given, preferably use that. If you don't want to
How it
use,
is?
yeah, if you are going to say line sh and you are going to execute that, you want to see that, let me show you. Okay, I have closed that terminal. Let me connect back. 100. Okay, cdu01 and software scripts. Okay, so sh first, it is executing. Why it is executing? Because sh is a parent of all shells, Bourne shell and corn shell. Any shell if you take, that will work. And if
Even
you have
without having that,
created, yeah, if you have created .ksh file, .ksh is included in your parent and you are trying to run with the bash, it doesn't work. That is completely opposite. One is FreeBSD, another one is proprietary shell. So it doesn't work in such cases. But bash is a child of sh shell. KSH is a shell child of sh. So if you take any shell, it is originated from sh, that is bone shell. Is it clear, Raj?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the parent shell, if you are going to use, it will execute for all. But again, the commands which are related to the bash utilities, it cannot executed by sh.
Okay.
Remember that point. Okay. So totally we have 7 modules in the shell scripting, though in that one programming part, files and directories, how to use them, groups and users permissions, how we can modify from the scripts, that is also we'll do. And the filters, lot of filters we have. So greater than, less than, pipe symbol. Normally whenever you type grep command, you are using find command whenever you are using, these are the common things. But realistic scripts, when you are going to use the script to archive the data or make that, then in such cases we need to use the regular expressions. So regular expressions with the filters and pipes, it will be much more easy to make the scripts. So one concept, if you make with Java program, it may take some 15 lines. In shell script, it may be in one line you can make everything. So that much shortest. That's why shell is very very flexible for administrators. Disk, CPU, or RAM, all these are common resources, resource management you are going to do. So these commands, the scripts, if you know all these commands, you can make simpler for your projects. Okay, so these are the different 7 modules we have in the shell scripting. Okay, so please follow on WhatsApp or on the Vybhava Technologies, which is a page available on the Facebook and also on the YouTube channel. If you subscribe, and we are going to give you everyday session in the private session and the private channel separately available on the Vybhava Technology. And subscribe to that one, then only you will get that one. Twitter, you can have any question, you can tweet it, and you know the website vybhavatechnologies.com. Thank you very much for today's session attending. You have any questions regarding this session? This session, especially.
Like we have seen like in Bin Bash and like Bin cases you said too. Like is
Yeah.
there any other options?
In this
Uh,
Ubuntu, we can install that one and we can use that one. If I want to use the KSH, for example, I can just switch to Vagrant. Okay, Vagrant. I have to switch to root sudo -i that will give the root access. In Ubuntu, if you want to install any software, apt-get aptitude get, that is the command, then install. For any package installation, install is a word. After that, it is going to ask you this much size it is going to occupy. Do you say yes or no? Then you are going to say yes. So instead of saying that one, I'm giving the option -y. KSH I want to install. It will install 1.527 KB. So it is fetching softwares and it is making all its related database installation software.
they say like Ubuntu supports cases and Bash both it supports Ubuntu operating system.
Yeah, within the same operating system, you can have different
Okay, like for example, if I am using Alex Solaris,
shells.
ASH, no, right?
In Solaris AIX, HPUX, it will be KSH. Proprietary shell will be there.
An example, okay, but I cannot use Bash there, right?
You can use, they have their own open source operating systems. And Sun OS is having bash shell, so that bash you have to install there. Any utilities, what they will say, don't use external commands in the operating system, that will harms your operating system. So that's why open source is always risky in case of their tight security they build. Proprietary operating systems like Sun Solaris or AIX or HPUX, they don't allow from their end bash. But again, remember, if you have the shell available in the bin directory, you can use that one.
Okay,
Yeah. And you know this KSH is having a lot of year versions. KSH 89 is there, KSH 93 is there. 93 is the last latest version. It is not having 2.3, 1.3 versions. It is having year by versions.
okay,
So if I want to create a KSH shell, Shabang line should be like this. Bin KSH 93 I have to use. Okay. So there are flexibilities, portability of the shells also. When you're using shells, one script I have created in Linux that should be working on Solaris also. How can I make that? So most common important thing you have to think about. Suppose you want to work on Linux and Solaris. KSH is a common shell, so prefer to go with the KSH. Bash is specific to Linux. All operating systems which your project is using, only Linux, then go with the Bash. Okay,
okay,
so the flexibility point of view, you have to check that. How we can check? You name. This will give the Linux or Unix. or SunOS, whatever operating system. This will give the result, right? Accordingly, you can check if condition and you make the shell or available
Okay.
commands in that one.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, fine, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Please send your feedback, and I'm going to have these sessions alternate days because today, if I'm going to start, and tomorrow immediately, if I jump into the next part, it will be difficult. So, what I do, alternate days, one after tomorrow, you don't have alternate day, you will be have day after tomorrow, you will be having the next session. Okay, so I'm expecting more students actually. We want to start by three students at least. We got only three, and one is internal. So, if you have any references, please share with your friends as well, or any relatives also you can share. Thank you.